We could even print odd or even numbers with the help of for function. This is called modulo operator. We haven't covered this topic. This is just the simple introduction. First, you already know that if I divide 7 to 4, it will print out 3.5. But we know that 2 times 3 will be 6, and the remainder here will be 1. And this one is called the modulo operator. Modulo operator is typed like that with the percentage sign, but this is not the percentage sign. This is the modulo operator. This is called, and this is the remainder here. We already know that we have 2 elements inside of 7, and the last one is the remainder here, and this remainder is called modulo operator. And if we want to print out the let's see even or odd numbers, we could easily use the modulo operator. Let's print out for I in range, give a range here 1 to 100, right? And in colon I want to print out if num or I is divided to 2 is equal to 0, I will print out those elements here. If I click enter, it will print out all these even numbers inside of the loop. We basically say that if or iteration in this range, when the elements of our iteration, when dividing those elements, the remainder will be 0, print me all those numbers, the numbers which have a remainder of 0 when we divide it to 2. If I want to print the odd numbers here, it will print out these odd numbers here, not even numbers. You could see that this is also very useful function to know. Instead of the range, we could even have an array here, like 23, 34, and 11. If I type in this one, it will print out these odd numbers, but if I type in these 2, it will print out even numbers here. We could even do it together. Let's make a bit complex for I in the range 1 to 100, and if I ampersand or this percentage sign or modulo operator divided 2 is equal to 0, then I will print out like this I and give it string name is even. Otherwise I will give else. I will do what? Again, print out I is odd. Click Alt Enter. You could see that whole clearly it just visualize all odd and even numbers up to the 100 here, right? Okay, we have also have a nested loop inside of those functionalities, which is performed once for each iteration of the auto loop. Let's see how we could write it. Let's say that I have a statement, and this statement just define it inside the list and take it I draw something, right? And here I have a array called items, and these items could be the list of items, key or pen or pencil, and I want to nest them. How should I do this? With the help of for. Okay, let's do it. First run it, and here I will create the loop for x in statement. I have created the iteration for statement, and inside of this iteration I will create another iteration for y, right, in items, and print them out. Print x and y. click enter, you could see that this string will print out each time for each element here. I draw a key, I draw a pencil, I draw a pen here, does not matter. One more function which is also almost always used with loops, especially in data analysis, is the append function. Python's append function inserts a single element in the existing list. We already know that, and we know the difference between append and extend functions. Append function is just adds the element to the end of the list and count them as a single item. This is just an example to memorize your x equals, and this is array 2, 3, 4, and I use the y equals to 5, 6, right? And now I want to append these elements inside y to the x here. First I will run it, and now I will just type in x append what y and click enter. You could see if I type in x here, it will append this element as a single item here. If I just type in x index, click enter, or here I will type in x index 5 and 6, it will give me the position. This one should be entailed with round brackets here. It will say that, or 5 and 6 would have a position of 4 here, but if I want to access like 6, I will have to type in it like this one, x4, this will be 5 and 6, and give additional square brackets for first position in order to print 6. It will create an index for each element here in extend. But in data analysis we usually use append function when we extract data from different sources while web scraping. Let's create the array first. This is the array we have created, the list, and here if I type in for I in range, let's see, 5, I will try to append here I append to what I, a append to I, and if I print it out here, always pay attention to this syntax here, how I just position these functions or these strings here. Print should be here in the same position as for. Print out a, click alt enter. It has said that we have a syntax error. If I delete it and create paste it like that, or click on alt enter, it will print out this array here, and it has given all these elements to the a here. But inside, although we have a as a blank list, if I just will type the a, it will assign all these elements to the L and store these elements, all elements to the to this a list here. In the same way, we could even work with, instead of the range, we could even store the lists here, like Kevin and 23, for example. Click enter, click it again, it will store this element to this a list here. We could also iterate over a dictionary with for loop. Let's first create the dictionary. We already know what's the dictionary. Dictionary equals, and curly brackets, we will first create the keys name equals Kevin, then surname equals not, these are the keys and these are the values here, like Richard, right? And let's add one more element. Key here is just 1970, and if I click Alt Enter, it will give us a syntax error here. Why? Because we don't have a comma here. This one and this one. Click Run. We have defined this element to this dictionary. If I copy this and paste it here, you could see that name is Kevin, surname is Richard, here is not. Okay, now I can just enter them with the help of for and print out them here. How should I do this? I will just type in for x and make y in my dictionary. X and y is just strange characters that I have given by myself. I will just, this X is type for these keys and Y for these values. If I print them out, it's just X and Y. Click Alt Enter, it will give an error because it says that too many values to unpack. But if I add in the items here and click Enter, it will print out these keys and their values here with the help of items function here. But if I want to print out only keys, I will type in the keys here and I will just click on X here, X in dictionary key, and this one could be just used as a key here, right? And this one has printed out all these keys here, name, surname, year, and instead of the keys I can even print out the values here. Click Enter, it will print out these values. The functions that we have used here are the keys, values, and items. Items just brings out the keys and the values, both of them, right? X, and here I will print one, what, Y.